Welcome to the 1 year ownership review of my Interceptor. So it's been more than a year since I've owned the Interceptor, and even though I've run the motorcycle only for around 5,000 kilometers, mainly because I use it only during the weekend, mainly for commute, I still use my Bullet Electra. So to summarize, I've had a sort of a love-hate relationship with the motorcycle, and in this video I would like to discuss with you and share with you uh, my ownership review so far, and the things I like about the bike and the things I hate about the bike. Now let's start with the positive things first. So there are three main aspects for which one buys this motorcycle. They are the twin cylinder engine, the quality of the product, and also the retro styling. So let's start with the engine first. It's a twin cylinder parallel twin 650cc engine from Royal Enfield, and when Royal Enfield introduced this motorcycle for 2.5 lakhs ex showroom when it was launched, it was an offer to many of us to own our very first twin cylinder motorcycles, because if not for the Interceptor, we would not have owned a multiple cylinder motorcycle for quite some time. And not only that, the engine was well researched and designed and tested, so it has no problems that we know from the ownership reviews so far. The quality is top notch. It's the least vibrating engine, being a parallel twin, it is smooth, and it also sounds very nice. So the feel which you get when you ride this motorcycle is mainly due to the characteristics of this twin cylinder engine, which is very enjoyable. And for a 650cc engine, it also gives decent mileage. Within the city you will get around 22 kilometers per liter, and on the highways you can get around 28 kilometers per liter, plus or minus 2 based on your riding style and your riding conditions. And it's also not an engine which heats up a lot. The heat is very much well managed, I would say, mainly due to the low compression ratio which the engine uses. So the second positive aspect for the Interceptor is the quality of the components used. So as I said before, this is a well designed, researched and tested product, unlike many of the first time launches of Royal Enfield, be it the Himalayan or the UCE Bullet. So there is a general advice to stay away from the first generation of any new model, which is not true with the Interceptor. The Interceptor comes with the least amount of niggles. It's a quality product, and not only is it well designed, the number of quality components used are also good. For example, the chassis is designed by Harris Performance. There is steel braided brake lines, sintered brake pads. The wiring harness is very good, unlike other Royal Enfields. The shocks are from Gabriel, and the chrome and paint quality is also decent. And the third aspect is the retro styling. This is the classic styling which Royal Enfield is known for, and the bike looks beautiful from almost all angles. The only one angle which I don't look is from directly from the rear, where the two bulky twin exhausts seems to be a bit ISO, but it's a personal taste. But from all other angles the bike looks beautiful. It's not an overstated design. You can easily use this bike within the city, and it's beautiful. At the same time, it's not that much, a lot of attention grabbing. So if you want a retro styled classic, this is what you call a modern classic with a quality engine and support. The Royal Enfield support for the Interceptor has also been very good. There is actually a dedicated roadside assistance line for the twins, and the service response, personally I feel, has also been very good. So these are the main positives of this bike. Let's come to the not so good things about this motorcycle. The first thing which I would like to share is there is some sort of posture problem for this bike. The Royal Enfield, if you consider the Bullet or the Himalayan, the seat and the posture are always good. But for the Interceptor, it's not like that. We have a slightly committed, I feel, riding posture, and the footback comes directly below where you sit, and there is a reach towards the handlebar. So we can see that most of the owners are using the handlebar risers or tilting the handlebar. There are even angled handlebar risers which actually brings the handle a bit closer to you, in addition to increasing the height. So one good thing which I would like to say at this point of time is that there is a lot of aftermarket accessories for Interceptor. There are lots of companies like Sana, ADV Drive, Indie Motard, SCD Customs, etc., which manufactures and sells accessories like crash guard, some guard, rear carrier, saddle stays, headlight grill, handlebar risers, windshields, and a lot more. So it's actually a very good platform for a project bike. You can really customize it to your own taste. Even Royal Enfield themselves provides a lot of accessories. You can go to the genuine motorcycle accessories page of Royal Enfield and see those. They are like the fly screen, the mirrors, N-bar mirrors, a lot of minor other products which improves the look of the bike in general. So coming to the negative, so the handlebar, I mean, there is a bit of reach to the handlebar. The seat is not that comfortable. The seat looks good, but it's narrow. It's not very firm. So I have actually made a separate video on this topic, both on the seat and also making the Interceptor comfortable in general. So usually people who buy this bike change the seat or do a custom modified seat over the stock, and also add a handlebar riser depending on their physique. So all this depends upon the physique of the rider. So depending upon your length of hands and legs, you may find it comfortable or not, but I have this feeling that most of the people do some modification or the other to make it more friendly, especially to tour for long hours. So seat is arguably one thing which a lot of users, majority of the users, find hard to ride on for long hours. And another thing is the suspension. Now this is a performance motorcycle, so we cannot complain. The suspension is not as plush as other Royal Enfield models, but it's manageable. It won't be that pleasant to ride on very bad roads like the Bullet or the Himalayan, but it's okay. But on the highways is where this bike performs the best. On smooth highways, you won't even feel the engine. It's only that sweet twin cylinder sound, and it's actually butter smooth. And another negative is the weight of this product. It weighs over 200 kilos, so that is something to manage and getting used to. So you will feel the weight when you try to push this bike, and even if you slightly slant it over an angle, it will be difficult to put it back. So you have to be very careful while parking the bike. You will never park this bike on an incline with the front facing down, because you won't be able to get it back without other assistance. And another thing which is a negative, but it's not a negative, it's discussable, is the spoked wheels. Well, the bike comes with spoked wheels, so obviously the Pirelli tires, which are actually tubeless, does have seared tubes inside them, so it's not puncture. I mean, in case you get a puncture during touring, it will be a very big headache to fix that. But the spoked wheels are nice to see. It actually gels well with the design of the bike, and a lot of people like the spoked wheels of the Interceptor just due to that. But from a touring perspective, spoked wheels are a headache if you get a puncture, because this bike is heavy, you won't be able to push it. And I've also heard that a lot of local puncture repair shops, they don't know how to work on the Interceptor, especially on the rear tire with all that disc setup. So what is advisable, you can carry the Royal Enfield yourself videos, which lets you know how to remove the rear and front wheels if required, so that you can show it to someone for assistance. So these are the general positives and negatives regarding this bike, which I have personally felt. So this is my personal ownership review so far for 1 year. Hope you find this useful. If you have any questions, I will be happy to answer them for you in the comment section below. Thank you. We'll see you in the next one.